A lot of executive assistants, or any assistants for that matter, we are scared to show our flaws because we get judged quite harshly if we have any flaws. So we shine the best possible light on ourselves, and rightly so because we do a lot. However, in this video, I want to open myself up and talk about something that makes me feel quite vulnerable. But I'm hoping that it'll help others who may have the same issues I do. And I wanted to share the tools I have implemented to work around those issues in my role as an executive assistant. Although I will be using the word EA, this video applies to all types of assistants. But before I do that, don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. ADD was never discussed when I was growing up and when I started my career, nor had I ever heard about it. Before I continue, I want to make a disclaimer. I haven't been diagnosed with ADD, and I'm really not sure after all these years whether I want a diagnosis. But even if it is an ADD, I have some of the symptoms. So what is ADD? This is the definition according to attitudemag.com. ADD, Attention Deficit Disorder, is the term commonly used to describe a neurological condition with symptoms of inattention, distractibility, and poor working memory. ADD symptoms in adults include trouble focusing on work, habitually forgetting appointments, easily losing track of time, and struggling with executive function. Although I passed all my subjects at school, it wasn't easy. It wasn't that I was dumb. It was because I learnt differently than the standard way they teach at school. I discovered if I was shown rather than just be told how to do it, then I could do it and do it well. However, when I started my executive assistant journey, there were elements in that role pertaining to my soft skills that I was failing at. I have been an EA for over 25 years and worked in different countries for top executives like CEOs. But when I became an EA, there was nowhere to turn to find out how to get better at the things I wasn't doing so well at. There was no Google, so I couldn't just do a search. So it was all trial and error. In this video, I want to share some of the things that held me back on becoming a great EA for the first few years of stepping into that role. I want to also share what I have done about rectifying and assisting me with those issues. And just for the record, I have continually been getting exceeds expectations in many areas of my performance reviews, so there are ways to work around the difficulties. I know some people may need medical intervention, but for me, I found implementing these tools have helped me. So here are 6 of my problem areas and the tools I have implemented to help me work around those problems. I would walk out of my executive's office after our catch-up with a few words written down in my notebook of what he wanted me to do. And if I didn't do the task straight away, I would forget the details of that conversation. So I started taking down detailed notes in my notebook. So when I leave the executive's office and I don't get to the task straight away, it doesn't matter because I have all the information written down so I can refer to it at any time. I use a method I created using black, blue and red pen, as well as a yellow highlighter. I have a video on this technique and I will leave the link in the description box below. Another thing I would forget are details of external clients that I rarely communicated with. Details such as who is their EA, what company they belong to, what position they hold. So I created a list of the executive's name, company they work for, position held, email address, and their EA's name and email address. And this has been added to my EA manual so I can refer to it when needed. Everything goes into my EA manual. I will leave a link of the video I created in the description box below. When I am learning a new software, I document the procedure step by step as I am learning it. I also add screenshots. I go over that process again using my notes to see if I've missed any steps. I also add these instructions in the EA manual, but under the procedures section. I have a tendency to skip or forget words when I'm speaking to someone. This is because I am no longer in the present, because my mind has raced ahead to the next thought. So when I am conversing with someone and my mind is not in the present moment, my words have a hard time coming out fluidly. So I have to focus on being in the present and not to think too far ahead. And it's hard. It takes a lot of practice, and it is easy for me to fall back into old habits from time to time. In the beginning of my career, my attention to detail sucked. I was so fixated on getting things done, I never took time to check for errors. This was very early on in my career, and executives would pull me up on this. And this one time, the error I made was pretty big. An important meeting I created in a different state was incorrect. I didn't use the correct time zone. My executive missed the meeting and he was really mad with me. I had never seen him mad, and he told me to focus. That was the day I really picked up my game. I never ever wanted something like that to happen again. I am so vigilant now. I go over my work at least twice before sending it off. If it's a flight, I make sure I check the dates and times a few times before I complete booking. When I enter those flights in my executive's calendar, I make sure that the right time zones are input into his Outlook and the meetings are also scheduled in the correct time zones. I'm a morning person, so things that really need a lot of attention to detail, I do them then, and I also need a quiet place to complete important tasks. If I ever make a mistake, I put systems in place to stop that mistake ever occurring again. If a task or project is boring, I used to put it off till the last minute. But as many assistants know, anything can happen at the last minute. So I use the time blocking method. I allocate time in my calendar to complete the task, and it works for me. I get it done and in a timely manner. I have created a video about blocking time, and I will add the link in the description box below. From time to time, I may get an email asking me to do a number of things, but those things are in a wordy email. Or I get an email that jumps from one thing to another. I summarize the email and add bullet points, and then I send the email back to the person asking them to confirm that what I have stated is in fact what they want me to do. Sometimes when I take the time to summarize the email, it becomes clear to me what they want me to do, so there is no need to ask for confirmation. So these were 6 of my symptoms I have going on in what I think is ADD. But it doesn't matter if it isn't ADD. These have been what I have struggled with, and perhaps you have too. There are so many resources out there to help with whatever it is that you are struggling with. So use those resources. As I said before, when I was first dealing with the issues I was facing, there was nowhere for me to go in order to find help for myself. There is no one size fits all. So you need to find the tools that work for you. But don't give up. If at first you don't succeed, try another way. It took me a while to find the right methods for me, and it was all trial and error that got me to where I am today. Well, I hope you have found this video informative. Please subscribe and like, and thanks for watching.